it's me Ashley. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today guys, I've got some palette swatches for you. So yes, I have some palette swatches, and today's palette swatches are from Revolution and Roxi. It's the Roxi Ride or Die palette. It's an eyeshadow palette full of absolutely fabulous colours. I won't go on too much, I will show you it all now. Okay, so this is the packaging that the Roxi palette comes in. It's got this lovely glossy gold writing, and it's this nice marble kind of effect design. And that's the cardboard packaging. Inside we have the Roxi palette itself, which is a lovely reflective gold. So I'm afraid all you can see is the ring light at the moment, but it is super duper pretty. So I'm going to open up inside. I haven't really looked inside other than I have just taken a few quick pictures just so I have some pictures of it before I get my fingers all in there. So let's open it up and have a little look. Okay, so in here are our colours. I always think the colours come up slightly different on camera, but to be fair, these are fairly close. So there's a beautiful selection of colours. We have some fabulous shimmery shades and some lovely mattes. Some fairly neutral colours, which is fab, and then a few brights. So I think it's like a useful palette that you can use quite often. It's super cute, if you can see before my fingers all get in there. The matte shades all have the little R's in there that Roxi's put on, so that's lovely. Super duper cute. Okay, so I've just put the palette there kind of almost out of the way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch the colours on my arm. Oh, I do apologise, I have a Fitbit strap mark. I did mean to take that off a little bit before I did it. But never mind, either way, you'll still get to see the colours. Okay, so what I usually would do is just do them row by row on my arm and then wipe those off and then do the next row. If you've seen me doing any of these swatching videos before, that's the usual setup. And I think it kind of works. I get to try all of the colours. So, yeah, my nails ain't too bad. I do have a chip on that one. I apologise. They're quite short at the minute, but they've got a pretty colour on, which is also Revolution. So, let's start with the very first one, which is called Iconic, and it looks like a lovely shimmery, goldy, champagne colour. Okay. So, it's coming up nice. Let's pop that on my hand. A little bit of fallout in there, but we're okay. So it is just a very delicate, shimmery kind of champagne gold. It is actually really pretty. Probably quite perfect for like an everyday kind of a look. The next one is a very pale kind of skin tone called Boo. Now, I kind of feel guilty if I'm ruining these R's. Sorry, Roxi. This one, like I say, is going to be such skin coloured. It might be like a good base shade. So yeah, I don't know if it's even picking up on the camera. It's very, very kind of pale, like skin tone. It is like my skin tone. So like I say, it might make a really good base shade. So our next one is a super shimmery shade called Yas. This one looks like it's going to be soft. Ooh, yeah, that feels buttery. That's nice. Okay, so it is a nice shimmer. So popping that on there. Again, it's another quite delicate shimmer. It's a bit darker than the first one. It's a beautiful, like, shimmery golden colour. It looks slightly different. It looks warmer on here than it does in the palette. It's really nice. Okay, I'll use these three fingers again, so I'm going to wipe those off. Okay, then our next shade is Pumpkin, and as you can tell, it's kind of like a burnt orange shade. Oh, I really don't want to dig into these R's, they look so pretty. Okay, so this one is a matte shade, and again, it's like this burnt orange colour. Pigment is fab, look at that! Wow! That came up so much better than I was expecting, and with very minimal fallout, to be honest. Right then, this next colour looks absolutely fab. It's like a bright gold and it's called Shook. And again, this has quite a buttery feel to it. Really nice. Okay, that's a lovely gold. It didn't come off as pigmented as I thought it might. Like not as bold, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But I really like that. So pretty. Okay, then our last shade is called Cookie. I'm thinking this is probably a good, I don't know, like neutral everyday shade. It's something you can maybe use as a transition shade, or if you're just using one eye color, which I do sometimes, that would be perfect possibly. So that's that one, and like I say, I think it is quite a good transitional shade, or like a good base shade. Really, really nice. So I think we've got a good set for our first row. This one is very, very pale, but like I say, it is my skin tone, so it might make a great base kind of a shade. These shimmer shades are stunning. They are really pretty. The pigment on this one kind of blew me away a little bit. So I'm going to wipe this off, and then we can try these ones. Okay, so that's them all off. They came off fairly easily, to be fair. Possibly the pumpkin shade, which had fabulous pigment, was the hardest to get off, but it came off with minimal effort. So our next one is a gingerbread, it is called, and it's kind of like a very warm, kind of rusty colour. So let's see what this swatch is like. Okay, again, fabulous pigment. It's like a deep browny reddy colour, and it looks nice. It's, again, really quite impressed with the pigment so far. The next one is Firework, and it's possibly one of our least shimmery of the shimmery shades, but you know, these shades are important to have in your palette. So it's kind of a orangey, bronzy kind of a shimmer. It felt slightly dusty as I was getting that up. Perhaps a little fallouty. Yeah, it's kind of coming off that way, but if we work it in, there is a lovely, ooh, I'm knocking the camera. There is a lovely shimmer to it. I don't know if the camera's picking these up as bright as they actually are. No, I don't know. I think sometimes, yeah, it doesn't come up as warm on here for some reason. But it is a lovely kind of shimmery colour. Okay, our next one is called Honey, and it's this kind of yellow colour, kind of a mustard, I would say. I feel so guilty destroying these R's. I don't know why. Okay, so there is quite a bit of fallout on my finger for that one. Perhaps I dug too deep, I don't know, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, that one was a little bit of a fallouty shade, but again, it has amazing pigment. So using a brush, you might not get that much fallout. It might just be that I've stuck my fingers in there. Okay, our next shade is called Unicorn, and it's actually a beautiful pale pink shimmery shade. It's not as shimmery as, you know, some of the other ones look, but it does look like it'll be very pretty. Okay, so that came out quite easily, no fallout. And yeah, that's a really pretty, it's really reflective, very pale pink with like an almost silvery shimmer to it. It's really, really nice. So I like that one. Okay, our next one is a deep brown, and it is called Cola. So I'm guessing it's supposed to look like a Coca-Cola-esque shade. And again, this one does have a fair bit of fallout to it, but it came off without me really pressing too hard. It's blended in absolutely fine, and yeah, that's got some good pigment to it, hasn't it? Wow. Okay, then our last shade is called Ember, and it's kind of a metallic brown. Yeah, that one didn't come up as easily as I would like it to. I'm just going to go in for another swipe. Okay, so it's quite a subtle shimmer, that one, if you can see. It's nice, and it would be good in an everyday look, but if you're after a shimmer, it's not going to have that wow factor. Okay, that's those off. The brown was quite hard to take off. Now I'm guessing that's just because it had quite a lot of pigment in that one, but it came off so we're all good. Okay then, so our very last row, and I'm excited. We have Cranberry, which is kind of like a cranberry red shade, and it's a very shimmery looking shade. I'm quite excited to swatch this one. Ooh, that's so soft. Oh, and it looks so pretty. Oh, wow, that's lovely. I don't know if the colour's as wonderful on the screen. There's kind of like a pinky sheen to it almost, as well as like a reddy orange. It's beautiful. Wow, that's a nice shade. Our next one is like a red with a slight more pinky tone to it, and it is called Ariel. And I guess maybe it's like Ariel from The Little Mermaid's hair. I love The Little Mermaid. It's my favourite childhood movie. Again, this one felt a little like fallouty, like dusty. It's swatched okay. And it has decent pigment, perhaps not as good of a pigment as like the other matte shades, but it's still pretty damn good. And those two shades complement each other absolutely fabulously. Okay, the next one is called Sunset, and it's kind of like a dusky pink shimmer. It's not one of like the buttery soft shimmer shades, but it's still a nice shimmer. It's a more subtle one. I'm going for another swipe. It's really pretty. It's kind of like a dusky pink, or it's got like an almost golden shimmer to it. So it's really pretty. Okay, then on to our next colour, and it is called Inspire, and it's kind of like a deep pink to purpley shade. And it's, oh, I don't like destroying these R's. I feel guilty. Okay. That's probably the least fallouty of the matte shades I've had so far. And again, the pigment's nice. And again, these two complement each other really well. So these two do and these two do. We could probably mix and match in fairness. Okay, the next one is called Mars. And it's a lovely kind of bronzy kind of shade. Okay, that didn't feel as buttery soft as I was expecting it to from these ones. But it still looks like, yeah, it's going to be a fab shimmer. Look at that. It might have actually come off better than the rest of them did. Yeah, that's super pretty. Ooh. Okay then, we are on to our last shade now, and it's called Draco, and it's this kind of turquoisey, well, deep turquoise teal kind of colour. And it's our last R. I don't want to destroy it. But I'm going to do it for you guys. Okay, so that one doesn't feel crazy dusty, but it looks a little dusty on my finger. So, swatching that on there. Okay, the pigment isn't as, deep as I thought it would be. I thought it would be crazy pigmented. Can I just do like one more quick little swipe just to see? Yeah, it's nice. And I like the colour. And I quite like that it's probably going to be buildable, because it's probably one of those shades that's going to be harder to get off given that it's bluey tones. Find the same blue nail polish. But it's really nice. And yeah, so I'm going to wipe those off, and then we'll have a quick rundown of the palette. Okay, so as expected, they were actually the hardest colours to get off. But, you know, they have come off. They weren't crazy bad. They haven't stained my skin or anything. Okay, so guys, this was our palette. I think there's some really pretty colours in there. I think it's quite a usable, everyday kind of a palette. I think you've got a lot of like neutral tones that are going to be fab for every day, and then a couple of subtle shimmers that will give a nice pop. And then also, if you do want to add a little bit of drama to your everyday look, there is some bolder shades. The pigment on some of them really impressed me. This pumpkin shade was absolutely fabulous. This Coca-Cola one, I think the honey shade was good, and the gingerbread. These shimmers, they had some beautiful metallic shades. This gold, the Yas, The cranberry was super pretty, and I think this one was probably my favourite of the shimmers. It really, really was just super shiny and super pretty. Some of the subtle shimmers were also actually really, really nice in a delicate kind of a way. So I'm really happy. I think this is going to be a very wearable palette. It's something I can get use out of and something I can reach for like in the morning and create a nice quick everyday look with. So happy. So that's the palette. As everything Revolution does, it has impressed me. There's some lovely colours, some nice shimmers, brights, and a pretty good everyday palette, as I'm sure I've just said in the video. So this costs £10 at retail price, but I actually got it a little cheaper, and I think if you watch out on Superdrug, they do a lot of offers on these, so you can pick up some pretty decent stuff. So well done Roxauras, and well done Revolution for another fabulous palette. Honestly, some of my favourite palettes are all Revolution. In fact, most of them are. I really, truly think that they are fab. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much going on about these fab colours. So if you've enjoyed, then please do me a favour and hit that like button and give me a huge thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do so, because there's plenty more videos coming up. I've got a lot of Colourpop swatches and things next week, so watch out for those. And until my next video, I will see you very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.